The Great Reset, How the World Economic Forum Repackaged Control as Compassion. 1. The origin story. In 1971, while the world obsessed over bell-bottoms and the end of the gold standard, a quiet professor named Klaus Schwab founded what he called the European Management Forum. Later, it became the World Economic Forum, a title that sounds harmless until you realize it's not about economics or the world. It's about management, of you. Schwab's big idea was stakeholder capitalism. Sounds nice, right? Everyone's a stakeholder. But here's the twist, stakeholders don't actually own anything. They just have interests. It's a linguistic sleight of hand, replacing those who take risks, shareholders, with those who take credit. So what does that actually mean? It means that in Schwab's world, effort and ownership are optional, but control is not. Over 5 decades, Schwab turned a modest conference into Davos, the winter carnival for the rich, the powerful, and the self-anointed saviors of humanity. Politicians, CEOs, bankers, and celebrities all gather to discuss how to improve the world. The punchline? They usually mean improve control. Footnote. Stakeholder capitalism makes everyone responsible, except those who actually hold the power. 2. The message, you will own nothing. In 2016, the WEF published an article predicting you will own nothing, and you will be happy. It wasn't satire. It was a mission statement. Ownership, they said, would become obsolete, everything would be rented. Homes, cars, clothes, maybe even thoughts. So what does that actually mean? It means control shifts from individuals to institutions. When you own nothing, you depend on those who own everything. When everything is rented, one button can decide who eats, who travels, who trades, and who speaks. Schwab framed it as progress, a shared economy. But sharing, in this model, looks a lot like surrender. It's feudalism with Wi-Fi. Footnote. You will own nothing isn't prediction, it's permission for power to consolidate. 3. The recruitment strategy. The WEF doesn't conquer nations, it cultivates them. Enter the Young Global Leaders Program, a pipeline for grooming political and corporate elites. The stated goal, build a future-oriented generation of world leaders. The real goal, build alignment. Graduates include prime ministers, central bankers, and CEOs. Schwab himself once bragged at Harvard that the WEF had penetrated cabinets. It wasn't a metaphor. Through ideology, access, and ambition, the WEF infiltrated policymaking without ever holding a vote. So what does that actually mean? It means public policy now comes with a private agenda. The same hands that shape the corporate boardroom also shape the laws that govern you. Footnote. Influence is most effective when it doesn't look like power. 4. The mechanism of control, ESG. The WEF's most powerful export isn't an idea, it's a metric, ESG, short for environmental, social, and governance. On the surface, ESG sounds noble, rewards sustainable, inclusive business. Underneath, it's a lever. A way to reward compliance and punish dissent. Corporations adopted it not out of conscience but out of coercion. Asset managers like BlackRock and Vanguard tied investment access to ESG scores. Want capital? Play by the rules. Want to question them? Lose your funding. So what does that actually mean? It means capital itself has become a weapon of conformity. The market doesn't pick winners anymore, ideology does. Footnote. ESG transformed capitalism from competition into obedience. 5. The global web, UN and WEF alignment. If the WEF is the brain, the United Nations is the body. Their sustainable development goals read like the WEF syllabus, ending poverty, saving the planet, and restructuring economies for equity. Who could argue with that? But beneath the moral language lies a familiar pattern, central planning disguised as global cooperation. The same elites who fly private jets to climate summits also draft policies restricting your travel and consumption. You'll eat less meat, they say, for the planet. Translation: austerity for you, indulgence for them. Footnote: global goals sound humane until you realize they're centrally administered by the unelected. 6. The power shift, end of the dollar era. Empires don't fall in a day. They decay in debt. The U.S. once held the world's trust, and its reserve currency. But like Rome, the Dutch, and the British before it, America abused its privilege. The dollar's global dominance is fading, and the vacuum demands a new order. So what does that actually mean? It means the Great Reset isn't a theory, it's a strategy. As the old monetary system phrase, elites aren't scrambling to save it. They're replacing it. Central bank digital currencies, carbon credits, and global compliance networks are the next step in the evolution, from freedom to algorithmic control. Footnote: when currency becomes code, control becomes instantaneous. 7. The countermove, awareness and ownership. The antidote to engineered dependency isn't outrage, it's independence. Real assets. Real community. Real ownership. The same principle that built civilization still applies: if you can't hold it, you don't own it. Schwab and company bet on your apathy. They assume you'll trade freedom for convenience. But history favors the awake. Every empire that tried to centralize control eventually fell, not because of rebellion, but because of overreach. So what does that actually mean? It means the future isn't written by Davos. It's written by those who refuse to rent their souls to it. Footnote: power only works on those who stop paying attention.